All right, guys, let's get going this morning. Appreciate everybody being on. Great week. We started off with some leaderboards this morning, and we had we had an awesome week. So let's do first off a couple of brand new riders. Congratulations to Erica Hansen. Had one application, $509, direct to Jeremiah. We also had new rider Obasi, one application, $1,539, also direct to Jeremiah. So congratulations, new riders. And as we always say, if you write one application, you can write two. If you can write two, you've got yourself a business. So congratulations to our new riders this morning. So top 10 this morning, we had actually one of our new riders was in the top 10. Obasi had the one application for $1,539. Bill Collum had one application, $1,590. Nathan McFarland had two applications, $2,008. All these are actually directed to Jeremiah. I'm neglecting to mention that. So, actually several of these here on the first of the list. Matthew Glass, also directed to Jeremiah, two applications, $2,433. We had Miss Stella Dinwiddie, 8 applications, $4,623. Congratulations, Stella. And she actually is the app count leader for the week. So awesome to see that. Julia Pappas, again, monster week, 2 applications, $8,236, direct to myself. Congratulations, Julia. I had 2 applications for $9,360. I am direct to the one and only Scott, the Mank Tank. The top 3 were separated only by $350. So this is, I had to build this up a little bit because I mean this is a tight race for top 3. At number 3, Mr. Jeremiah Nolan, 3 applications, $2,033, direct to myself, edged out by the top 2, who were less than $200 apart. Number 2 happened to be Mr. Spencer Cushion, 3 applications, $10,403, direct to myself. And then we had Mr. John Paul Vetter, 6 applications, $10,579, direct to myself. Congratulations, great week, everybody. We had a monster week. I did notice there's a couple of applications that were sitting in agency approval. For those of you who don't know, that just meant that they had been entered, but they had not cleared new business yet. So it's possible if you have some business that you feel like is missing, it's probably not missing, it's probably just still sitting in new business pending getting submitted to the carrier. So we have to pull these leaderboards first thing on Friday morning. So that's so that's some of what happens there. Hey, I've got to give a special shout out this morning. There's a name on the leaderboards. I think probably for the first time, definitely in the top 10, and that is Miss Stella Dinwiddie. Really got to give her just an incredible pat on the back because she has really been battling. She's a brand new agent going through a lot of stuff. I've been witness to some things going on the backside, and she was top app count this week and top 10 in the agency. So really hats off to somebody, and you see her on the group, and she's always the most positive, chiming in, making sure she's encouraging everybody when in reality she's battling through and making this business happen. So big shout out to Stella this morning, and congratulations to her for putting up a big week. So also, we need to give a congratulations this morning. Got a note that we've got a newlywed on the call, and Miss Kay Jones, part of the Cushion Agency, is on the call this morning, but is also recently married, as in within the last few days. So shout out to her, and congratulations on a new marriage. So okay, guys, conference is only 6 weeks away. Is that right? 6 or 7 weeks away. It's happening very quickly. Wanted to bring this up this morning. If you have not got your tickets, got your travel arrangements, guys, you need to get on that ASAP. And one of the big factors is obviously you got to look at your travel costs. Those tend to go up as you get closer. But guys, this is our 2-day training event coming up August 2nd and 3rd, and this is a huge event that you're going to get more in these 2 days of training than any leader on this team can give you in one-on-one training for 6 months. I mean, we can't overemphasize how important this event is going to be for you to be a part of. So make sure that you get signed up for conference. We have several leaders on the team who have owners packs, so make sure that you get with them, that you get a ticket, and get if you need help with the ticket. I know some of them are finding ways to get creative and make sure that we help you out with the ticket. Maybe break that up into some smaller chunks or things of that nature. So, all right, let me check here. Not seeing. So we got a special call for you this morning, guys. One of the things that I see in this business, especially when I'm having a lot of conversations with some of our new folks, and this is, I don't care if you're a brand new agent on this team, or if you've been here a while and maybe you're building a team. This is a business. Doesn't matter, again, if this is day one, you haven't even written a policy yet, you're in business for yourself. And one of the challenges is managing your business, when it comes to personal schedule, to your activity levels, to balancing your time, recruiting. We know there's distractions in life, friends, family, etc., and all of these things that go on. And so really want to take some time this morning. I've asked some folks to jump on the call this morning. We've got one of our team leaders, we've got a key leader, and we've got an agency owner that you're going to be hearing from this morning, talking about the challenges of balancing this business and what it takes to really do that. And so really, I want to make sure that you guys get some paper out, take some notes. This stuff is going to be valuable for you in managing your business and making sure that you have an understanding of what it's going to take to be successful. Okay, guys? So again, take notes. Make sure that you've got pen and paper in hand, ready to go. This information these guys are going to be sharing with you is critical. I want to start out this morning, John Paul, if you can go ahead and unmute you this morning. We're going to have you share with us this morning. So I asked John Paul to speak on one of the things you'll notice on GroupMe every weekend, as we see the numbers are popping up, the updates, hey, we're at 5 appointments, 7 appointments, 10 appointments, 12 appointments. And one of the things that he does consistently week in, week out is get his 12 plus appointments. And guys, that is one of the most critical of this business. It is essential if you want to win and win at a high level. And you see, obviously, somebody who's winning at a high level consistently here, number one rider for this week, and that comes back to his activity. So John Paul, kind of speak about your mentality and making sure that you get those 12 appointments, 12 plus. A lot of times it's more than that, but again, we kind of set the bar at 12. That every appointment over that is additional money. Kind of talk to the folks about what kind of commitments you make to make that happen every week.
Sure, thanks, Chris. I appreciate you having me speak on that. So the key is this: is you have to be intentional about your activity, and you have to be committed to your business. You have to have a set schedule. Far too many times people think that, well, I'll just kind of dip my toe in the water and I'll call a little bit, and then, maybe if I don't get it, I'll call tomorrow. And then, so you end up procrastinating and kind of kicking the can down the road. You can't do that. You have to have your time scheduled to make your dials and don't let anything distract you from that. You know, my wife knows that when she comes home from work, she's going to get off a little earlier this evening. I'm going to be heads down until at least 8:15. But after that, we're going to go to dinner. She'll probably get home around 6:30. A lot of people would say, oh, well, my wife got home early, so we'll just go home, go to dinner, and then, you know, I'll pick it up tomorrow. Well, tomorrow turns into Monday, turns into my whole week's, you know, a loss. And now, well, I'll pick it up again next week. You can't do that. You have to be focused on what you do. You can't let anything distract you from your dial time. I can't tell you in the last, you know, 10 months or so how many times on the weekends. I mean, those of you know that know me personally know I'm a car guy, and I take and go with a bunch of guys with Vets, Vipers, Ferraris, Lambos, and we go make runs up to the mountains on a regular basis, up to Blood Mountain and Tail of the Dragon here, and that's part of what I like to do. And a lot of those guys, you know, will make a Saturday run. I'm not going with them because I'm right here doing what I need to do. If they make a run on Sunday, yeah, I'll roll out. But Saturday morning, I'm not doing it. You know, because they usually get up in the morning and take off. I'm just not doing it right now because I am focused on what I need to do, and I'm not going to let anything distract me from my calls and my appointments. And you have to do the same thing. And I know it's hard sometimes. And it's even to the extent where, you know, if you've got, you know, other folks on your team, you're trying to onboard people or trying to mentor people, I'll let my new people know that I'm not available on Friday evenings from 5 to 8:30 and on Saturday mornings from 8:30 to 12:30 or sometimes 1, 2 o'clock. If it's an emergency, yeah, of course, text me, but they shouldn't be in the home anyway. You know, for the most part, I mean, you know, unless it's absolutely necessary, you know, for a client, you can't even let an appointment with a client distract you from your call time on Friday night or Saturday morning. If a client says I'm only available on Friday evening, not going to do it. I'll be out of town or I'm booked already. I'll tell them something, but I'm not running an appointment. What am I going to do? Run an appointment and risk the chance of getting no-showed or even making a sale that I can maybe make $1,000 on or whatever, but that time takes them away from me writing $10,000 the next week. You can't let yourself fall into that trap where you let things distract you from what you need to do. There's plenty of other times during the week for you to do your other things like recruiting, conference calls, running appointments. Have a schedule and stick to it. Don't let anything take you away from that. And that's part of the challenge I see with a lot of new people is they don't have that structure. They kind of fall into the trap of, well, I'll do it later. Nobody's babysitting you here. This is a volunteer army. You can sit there and tell yourself all day long, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get it Monday. I'll do it. Like, we know how that works out, right? It's just too easy to fall into that trap. You've got to be intentional about what you do. And you've got to be focused on making your calls and don't let anything distract you from that. And if that means you're working bonus leads and you've got to make more calls to get your number, then that's what it is. I mean, you've got to make, you're not doing anything that the rest of us haven't done and aren't doing. Get over it. I mean, that's just the raw truth of it. You know, I posted something on the group me that's a repeat of a post that I like to share once in a while. And you see it, I posted up, I think it was maybe yesterday or the day before, but it said, you know, don't be upset with the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. That's it. No one's going to make you get on the phone. No one's going to make you get on and make 200, 300 calls. Those of us that are doing it, you see the results. I mean, the system works. You have to believe in that, and you have to be disciplined and structured in your approach in doing this. I mean, it sounds oversimplified, but it's really, sure, there are some things that you can improve on as it relates to your script and overcoming objections and your skill set on the phone. That's not what I'm talking about. Those things you can work with your mentor and improve on. But none of that makes a difference if you're not in there taking swings at it and getting at bats. And that means getting on the phones and getting yourself going. And I know sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's frustrating. You know, you get in where you don't want to get on the phones, but you have to. But the point is, when you get in there, you get in the zone and you start dialing and you're a machine. You don't let anything distract you from that. Nothing. Stay focused. If somebody's calling you on the phone, texting you, whatever the case may be, you know, if it's something that can be punted later on, you know, I'll call you back after 8 o'clock, 8:30, 8:15, whatever the time frame is that you're calling till. But on Saturdays, like last week here, Saturday, it was raining. It was horrible weather. And it was just nasty. I wasn't going anywhere. I just sat here and pretty much the entire day was spent on the phones from in the morning. And I don't think I finished till about 3:45, 4 o'clock-ish, something like that. but was nothing else for me to do outside. The weather was bad, and my wife and my kids are all adults, but everybody else was gone, and it was just me and Paco, my sidekick, my little blue chihuahua over here. He's helping me make money. He's over here dialing for me. But that's the point. You have to be focused on what you do, and don't give up short on what you're trying to accomplish. Some of you are doing it part-time. We get it. Some people are full. There you go. I see you, Jeremiah. Hold your pup up. But the key is you have to be intentional, and you have to be disciplined. You have to know what you want to accomplish and stick to it. Demand your success. Don't let anything distract you from it. It's too easy to fall in that and then woe is me and making excuses about how the system didn't work and I couldn't make any money, things like that. You got to stay focused on what you do. And if you're dialing bonus leads, you got to dial more. Big deal. They're going to hang up on you, curse you out. They're going to tell you they already bought it. I'm not interested anymore. Stop calling me, blah, blah, blah. So what? That's part of it. Expect that. I had an 80-plus-year-old some lady cursed me out a few months ago. It was hilarious to me. And I posted, she told me that her son said that this was a scam. And I posted it up on the group me when it happened, just to share that, right? You have to find humor in these things, and don't be thin-skinned. If you're thin-skinned, you're going to have a rough go with this. You've got to be thick-skinned and know that that comes with the territory. Do you think at the end of the week when I write $10,000 in business that I care about that lady or that guy that hung up on me and didn't answer the phone? Do you really think I even remember them? I don't. Because you dilute that with success. Does that make sense? It's as simple as that, but you have to be disciplined and focused on when you're calling. And I call on Monday nights too. That's already part of my routine because I normally run Tuesday, Thursday, right? And so even on Monday, if I do run, it'll be during the day, like midday, like 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So I'm back home. So I'm in here on these phones by 5 o'clock. So I can pick up all those, hey, call me Monday and this, that, and the other. And I can finish Monday to round out my week. So I'm calling Friday night, Saturday and even then again on Monday. And even this week, when I was done, sometimes I pick up Wednesday evening. If I'm running Tuesday and Thursday, Wednesday evening, because I'm usually home all day with our conference calls and recruiting and other admin things. But I'll call again, which I did this week, and I picked up 2 more appointments. The 2 appointments that had to reschedule for me and the guy that no-showed me on Tuesday. You saw me, I put that post up on the group me. I picked up all 3 of those people back again yesterday. They were on my routine, on my route yesterday. And I caught all 3 of them Wednesday night as a follow-up, for a couple hours from 6 to 8. I called again just to fill in some vacant spots on my Thursday schedule. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I know there's other speakers. I don't want to take too much time, but it's never easy, but it's pretty simple. That's the long and short of it.
Awesome. I appreciate you sharing that. That is great. And again, guys, these are things that if you want to see why these guys show up on the leaderboards on a regular basis, this is the reason why. So make sure that you're tapping into this. Bring on. Hang on just a second here. My screen's jumping around on me. Mr. Spencer Kushian, we're going to bring you on here just in a moment. Let me get your screen popped up here. It's hopping around on me. There you go. And Spencer, one of the things that you've done, and Spencer's been here over 2 years now, coming up on 2, maybe 2 right now. But one of the things that I've seen with Spencer is every weekend, it is consistency. That dial time, it's very similar to what John Paul shared. But Spencer, kind of want to talk a little bit about how you block your call times and why is that important for you?
Well, let me first share. I'm sorry I was a little late to the call today. Actually, I was guarding my call time. Chris, you and I were joking about that this morning. Then I had called my, and I'll go over my call schedule and I share with my agents, 10 to 11 right before every session. I will do my folks that are retired and set aside an hour. My goal is to I learned this from Jeremiah early on when I started, that he would have a goal. Jeremiah, please correct me if I misspeak. Is that he would set these times out whatever times they were for him, and they were traditionally the times at Symmetry and Symmetry's metrics. He would say, okay, I want to get this many appointments in this slot and this many appointments in this slot. That's where I get my 12 to 15. So I've kind of went off of that as well and really used the metric and stayed true to it, Chris. But here's why I was late. So I was in that call schedule, and probably about 10 minutes before, I had planned on, wrapping up my last call, and I took a beating on my call. I called, it was the final expense. I didn't send that in. You stole the information from my tax return. And I'm going to report you to the government. And the lady was going nuts on me. And I just said, look, I've got so many of these people to call. I appreciate, I didn't solicit. In fact, I sent her a text showing her form. She still didn't believe it. So I said, look, we'll just agree to disagree on this one, put a no on it, and put it down on the floor and said, gone. Well, 2 minutes later, I get a call, and it's the husband. And he is apologizing profusely to me and just saying, and he's 78 years old, and he's calling me sir. And I'm proceeding on to get everything I need to get to set the appointments. He keeps going on how so sorry is I couldn't get off the call. And so that's why I was late to our call. Lo and behold, I said at the end of the call, Mr. Ramsey, please, you don't have to call me sir. He goes, well, I'm just so sorry. I said, I'm in my 50s. You're in your 70s. I should be calling you sir. And he said, I just want to apologize. When are you coming to meet me? So anyway, I apologize for being late. But yeah, Chris, for over 2 years now, this is my schedule, and I adhere to it unless we're doing something family. Fridays 10 to 11 is my, my senior moment, so to speak. I'll be there soon, so I got to be careful. And then 5, actually from 3:30, 4 o'clock to about 6:15 for me, I get into the dinner hour in Northern Virginia, and it gets a little testy with people. So it just depends on how it's going. I may go out to about 6:30 or so. My goal for Fridays is to set anywhere from 4 to 6 appointments. Anything above that is just gravy. Then I come back Saturday mornings, usually between 9 and 9:15, dial between 12 and 12:30. And most times I'll get my 10 to 15. If I don't, then I wait till Monday. I want to go back at it Monday morning for a little bit of dials. Or I might have a couple people that said, hey, would you call me Monday morning? I'm definitely interested. I'm just at my son's ball game or what have you, and it's just really loud, what have you. I'll play that by ear. Otherwise, I'll use the objections to get into the booking. But other than that, yes, Chris, you're exactly right. I stick to it, and it is, one of our core metrics here is, massive activity, constant correction, stay inside the metrics. Don't go outside the metrics. And if you do, just make sure you've built into it your core. And, so if you're dialing on Mondays or Tuesdays to get a few appointments, case in point, last night, I had a client canceled. I had a client earlier in the week have to reschedule. So I just gave him a call. Hey, look, I got an opening tonight at 7. Do you want to go? They went, and I ended up, I didn't submit one of the apps because I've got to work some of the meds out. But, it was last night, I think it was close. If you add the 2 in, one's not in yet. It was about 4K APV. So you just never know, what's going to happen. And you just got to be flexible in those terms, but do not break off your metrics and be consistent. Too many times, I think, as leaders and as agency owners, I know, Chris, you shared with me early on when I started, is that people, just being honest, people want to complain. They want to complain. I complained, okay, in the beginning. But then I learned, look, it's not about the one-time dial session. It's not about it's 2-time dial session. It's about years of, and months of doing this. And then after a year goes by, I went, wow. Now I see why they say, massive activity, constant correction, keep the system. I can't remember who said it, but I share it with my agents. That was just wonderful at one of the conferences. It says, look, you might take a beating. You might not. You might have the best dial session, but the 10 appointments you're trying to book is at the bottom of your stack. Just keep on dialing. So I can't remember who said that. I don't know if it was Ashley Tarr or Miranda, but it was one of them. and it was great advice. So I've stuck to my system and to Symmetry's.
Awesome. I appreciate you sharing that, and hopefully you guys are starting to pick up a theme here from two top performers sharing about how they set up their week and how their activity runs, and we're starting to get a consistent theme. No pun intended. So last but not least, I'm going to bring on Mr. Jeremiah Nolan, agency owner, and he's in a unique challenge in that. He's got a growing agency, but he's got a lot more to juggle now than even, the average agent, even somebody who's just starting the building process, because he does have an established team, but still building and still running the field. One of the things that I wanted him to talk about is if you look at his schedule and anytime he posts up numbers, one of the things that's interesting is it's not at all uncommon for him to say, hey, I've got my 8 to 10 appointments and they're all on Monday, which means that he has a lot of control over his schedule. And one of the challenges, especially for brand new people, is they have a tendency just to shotgun approach, 7 days a week, they're going to throw appointments up whenever, wherever. And that's okay if it's your first week in business, but once you get established in business, you need to take control over your schedule as you move forward. And he does a fantastic job of doing that. So Jeremiah, I'll have you come on and kind of speak a little bit about how you structure your week, but most importantly, how do you tell people when you want them to meet you, not the other way around?
Okay. Yeah. Appreciate it. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Got you loud and clear.
Awesome. Good. Well, I really loved hearing, John Paul and Spencer and one thing I put in the chat, guys, and I got this from Casey a while. It was an old call. I love all the new calls, but I really love digging into the old ones, just hearing the leaders, the owners, coaching and teaching. It just really kind of gets at me. But guys, at the end of the day, the theme here, if you haven't already tell, is you got to clock in and clock out. It's a job. If you treat this business like a hobby, you're going to get a habit. If you treat it like a job, a job, you're going to have freedom. We all came here because we wanted more. We wanted more money. We wanted more time. But just because you quit that job doesn't mean you get it automatically. You've got to earn that. You've got to work toward that. I didn't have that in the beginning, right? I mean, it was hard trying to juggle everything, but you work on it and you're able to get it, and you have that flexibility that you desire, but you don't just get it because you now work for yourself. As a matter of fact, it works the opposite. You got to give up time before you get it back, and I have that similar conversation, JP, and I know he hates that. I just can't help it. But and Spencer, but you put everything on your calendar, your dial time, your appointment time, your personal time, your whatever time, your reading time, your exercise. Schedule it, and you got to clock in, clock out. Somebody calls you on the phone and they need something. I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? You're at home in your home office, your closet, your bedroom, your bathroom, wherever you do your work at, but you're at work. If you're working on a factory line and your sister calls because she's got a flat tire, last I checked, they're not going to let you get off that line and just go help your sister out. She's got to call somebody else. You're at work. That's the theme here. You have to treat it like a job. So many people are just working their bones to death, 60 to 70 hours a week at some dead-end job, but yet they call and they can't figure out why they're having trouble, why they're not getting enough appointments, or why they're not seeing enough of people. And we go through their numbers and they're literally putting in 4 to 5 hours of work. I'm like, well, no wonder. I mean, no wonder you're not having the success you want. It takes work. So put the same amount of time or more than what you were doing at whatever you came from that you hated and you were trying to escape. Put that same amount of time or more, because this is your business. This is your dream. And so I felt like I needed to get that out, because I'm just hearing these guys that just seeing success they have, you know, it shows. But as far as my schedule, that I hope you understand that's the kind of the same theme here. You know, I have my schedule. I follow the Symmetry system to a T. I always have. I always will. Does things change? Does some words change? Or yes, but the system is the system. It works if you work it. Okay. And so the reality is this: when I'm running Monday, Tuesday. Okay. Period. I'm building my business Wednesday, Thursday, period. And I start back over on Friday. So when I'm on the phone, and I'll kind of hit the my scripting a little bit, Chris, and if I get off topic, bring me back. But if you're new, you got to fake it till you make it. John Paul mentioned it a minute ago when he was talking about someone who said, well, I can only meet with you on Fridays. I'm sorry, I can't meet with you on Friday, right? Your schedule is more important than theirs. When we're starting out, we're just oozing to just get a win. And I understand that, you know, you need to get a win, but you need to get those wins when it's valuable to you, your time. If someone says, I can't meet with you on Monday, I can meet with you on Thursday, you say, okay, that's fine. What time works best for you? Guys, all you just did is just killed the sale. You killed the sale. You hurt yourself because you made it less important. Guess what? That client may be dead on Thursday. Now that seems hard to think about. I see Finch still here laughing. That is the truth, right? How many times, look on Facebook, how many times you see some tragic accident, you know, I mean, and there's a GoFundMe throwing up, you know, if somebody may or may not know, I'm a diehard Auburn Tiger. Our main guy for the Auburn Sports radio announcer, Rod Bramlett, and his wife was tragically killed, both of them, by a 16-year-old driver who fell asleep at the wheel at 9 o'clock at night. Okay. They have a GoFundMe to help. They had a freshman in college and an 8th grader. Okay. It can happen like that. So if we just assume, well, it's okay, I'll just come meet you whenever you can meet you because I need to get a sale, I need to make some money. You're lessening the importance of what we're doing. So it's less important to you. Therefore, it's less important to them. And I can tell you what, odds are they're not going to buy anyway. Okay. We got to meet the people when we need to meet the people. And that means if they ain't meeting with you when you can see them, it's not that important. Okay. Now, can it happen? Sure. I would just call that luck. I'd call it just, you're going to sell a couple just for showing up. Right. But it's got to be important. So if you don't have this schedule that just requires that right now, you fake it till you make it. Okay. But most, you know, if you're part-time, you are busy. You've got a full-time job. You got a family probably, and you got this you're trying to do to get out. You are busy. Maybe you don't have 15 appointments, but you are busy. You're really busy. Your time is very important. Our time has to be more important than theirs. Okay.
I just want to interject one thing, Jeremiah, because you made a great point. If you don't have 15 appointments, you need to act like you do. Their perception should be that you have so many clients you're trying to help that you're trying to fit them in. Absolutely, Jeremiah.
Yeah. Your time has to be more important than theirs. Okay. So here's the deal. Go through my script. I get down to the bottom. All right. Y'all ready? All right. So, hey, Chris, listen, I'm going to be out in your area this coming Monday. I'm going to be swamped. I've got about 15 homeowners I have to meet with. I'm only going to have about 15 minutes. I could swing by and show you guys what you will qualify for. I can probably squeeze you in around a 6:30 or maybe a 7:15. which one of those is going to work best for you and Ashley when you guys are both going to be home together? Okay. So the point I hope y'all heard is I'm busy. I only have about 15 minutes that I can swing by and show you what you can qualify for, not the other way around. Hey, I'm going to be out there Monday. You know, it probably will only take about 15 minutes. You know, when would be best for you guys? There's no good time, right? I'm busy. I mean, I don't want to, you know, you have to have the posture, the stance, and if you probably didn't notice, you know, this whole time I've been sitting in my seat just relaxed, but when I'm up, you got the posture, you got the stance. Stand up if you need to, have that voice reflection, be confident in what you're doing, and be confident that it's important to help. Because again, I go back to the reality. They may be dead next week if they can't see you Monday. Okay. That is the reality of what we do. Our job is extremely important. And so you got to act like it, and you got to believe in it. If you don't believe in what you're doing, then give up now. Okay. I'm telling you right now, if you don't have a passion to help people and believe in the services that we offer is important. Okay. If you're just trying to make money, you can go make money doing something else. It's not as important. You can go sell cars. You can go sell cell phones. I don't know. Anything else can still make money, but what we do is important. So you got to have that urgency, that sense of urgency that what we do is important. I'll give you an example of mine. I had a client or a potential client that I called, set an appointment with. Then they rescheduled on me. His dad got sick and was in the hospital there, had to go out of town. That happens. It happens, right? So I followed up, set another appointment. Then they called and had to reschedule because he's sick. He's in the hospital. I didn't know at the time. So no problem. I followed up again. He ended up having pulmonary embolism. Okay. I had a Mutual Omaha Term Express in my bag that I was planning to present. Guess what? That is no longer an option. I was fortunate that I could bring him down to the Living Promise and got him 40,000 compared to 150,000, and it cost him more. But guess what? He took it because it was important. He just was in the hospital, blood clots in his lungs that came out of nowhere. All right. And guess what happened after that? He trusted me. He seen that I offered annuities. He was tired of his HSA or TSA, whatever it is, and I wrote him and his wife $250,000 in annuities. Okay. So I'm following up this week to go back and talk to them about the Your Family Bank. Let's get their house paid off in a couple of years and then be done with it, you know? So you have to have a sense of urgency. You know, Jacob Pogue told me a long time, I have it right here on my whiteboard. Consistency plus persistency equals freedom. Consistency, persistency equals freedom. You don't get it any way other, okay? Treat it like a job, you'll get freedom. Treat it like a hobby, you'll get a habit. A hobby means I do something when it's convenient. I go play golf when it's convenient. I go, you know, put a puzzle together, whatever your hobby is. I don't know. John Paul goes and races Corvettes and all that. By the way, I need to come to Atlanta. You can take me with you, but that's a hobby, right? He does it when it's convenient. It's not convenient on Saturday mornings. That's a detriment to his business. He can't afford to race that Corvette if he ain't on the phones on Saturday mornings. Y'all hear me? And so you've got to schedule. You got to stick to it. Those damn dirty dishes that's been in your sink for a week growing mold and flies, they're no less important now because it's dial time. Get that stuff done. I was literally, as we speak, putting dirty dishes in the sink and dishwasher right before we got on this call, so it's done. I ain't got to think about it the rest of the day. It's done. I don't have to have my wife go in there and do it. I took care of that, nicked it out, done. Okay? because I got to clock in. I got to do my job so that I can support my family and give them the life that they deserve. And if I'm just, you know, doing things when it's convenient, then I go back to the bank and sit there and twiddle my thumbs and hate the 9 to 5 I got to go to. Right. I mean, that's the thing. You've got to put in the work. I mean, you can work yourself, you know, hard for a season and set yourself up for a lifetime, but you've got to put in the work. This don't work if you don't work it. You don't just show up and now you got a proven system in front of you and think that the magic fairies are going to show up and give you 15 appointments and they're going to be there when you get there, and you're not going to have to sacrifice your time or sacrifice your mental stability. And that's why we talk about, you know, personal development so much, guys. This business is all in your head. Your brain believes what you tell it. It don't have a mind of its own. Okay, that's a myth. Your brain believes what you tell it. Okay, if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. It's you're the one in control of that. All right. And you also got to reach out. You know, you got to reach out to your mentors. I'm so glad I had an agent reach out and say he's struggling, wants some help. I'm thankful to hear that. Now, I'm not thankful someone's struggling. I'm thankful that they're reaching out for help, because believe it or not, and John Paul and Chris and Spencer and Julie and all the others that are mentors, we don't get that enough. And I'm just telling you right now, guys, you got to check your ego at the door. If you need help, if you're struggling, don't do it alone. That's the whole point of being a part of a team, is we're here to help you. Are you going to hear something you don't want to hear? Probably, right? But that's called putting your big boy pants on. You're here for a reason. All we're trying to do is help you. That may be words that you don't want to hear, but it needs to be said. You know, you hear what I'm saying? So you've got to ask for help. We don't have time to chase people down and wonder not if they need help or not. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not calling, either you don't need help or you don't want it. You know, I don't know. I mean, so, you know, but we're here to help you. We love every one of you. We care for you. You know, our incentive is to help you be successful, but we can't do it for you. You know, I mean, we can't drive the car by. I get in the passenger seat. I can read the GPS.
That's a great picture of him.
I think that captures the moment well. Jeremiah, if you can hear us, we lost you. But your freeze frame is perfect. So
I'll text him.
that's all right.
Cut off.
All right. Well, guys, that is powerful stuff. And unfortunately, we lost him kind of in the middle of that. But I think you get the message and the gist of that. And so, you know, this is a business. You know, I was making some notes here as Jeremiah was talking. Again,
I'm back.
Oh, we got him.
That was a mystery. I don't know what happened.
Is that Apple product? So it's all right.
I really got on a tangent, and I hope that was valuable. I'll be happy to ask any questions. Yeah, passion. That's it. You've got to be passionate. You have to believe in what you're doing. Okay. If you don't believe in it, then I'm telling you now, just stop. Don't put yourself through the pain and misery of what you've got to go through to have success. But I'll tell you, it works. I've tried to prove it wrong, and I have failed every time, and I have been so thankful for that. Okay. And so the last thing that I want to talk about, guys, is conference. Okay. There is currently 32 people on this call. I don't know where everybody else is, because I know we have a much bigger team than that, but I'm proud of the 32 that are on here. Okay. But I want to talk to you about conference. I wouldn't be in this seat talking about what I'm talking and be in the position that I am as an agency owner and growing and getting asked to be on the calls and getting, I wouldn't be this and be here had I not attended conference. Okay. So I wanted to talk to you. many of you probably have heard this. I want to go over my leaderboards for my team real quick. I'm not going to cover the leaderboard, but I want to make a statement here. So last week, I had 9 riders, okay, as a team, 9. 7 of them have been to at least one conference. Two other riders are both brand new. One of them is already registered for the next one, okay? Last month, I had 15 riders, okay? 15 riders. And I had 11 of those have been to at least one conference. Many of them have been to multiple conferences, okay? Again, out of the 15, I also had 4 new riders, okay? And out of those 4 new riders, 2 of them attended the last conference. One of them couldn't. He's registered for the next one. So my point is this. If you're on this line right now today, and you have not registered for Tucson, Arizona, I'll say it again, and Chris, I'm just, you might as well quit today. You are not going to make it. You're not. 95% of all new agents who don't attend their first one aren't around to see the second one. Those are the numbers. You can't expect to come here and get the training. You was talking about the mentorship. We can't remotely teach you how to be a $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 producer and agency owner and growing. We can't do that. We can teach you how to be a producer, maybe, but you're going to get more impact and everything that you learn from your training and your mentorship. When you get in front of it and you get around it and you feel it and you see it, that's when it sets in. And that when it, you know, I was testing the waters myself the first month, but I went to that conference and I planted my flag. All right. I planted my flag. So I'm making a bold statement here is if you aren't registered for Tucson and you ain't, you know, said yes and figure everything else later, then again, guys, we love you. And we'll be friends, but you're wasting your time and you're wasting your mentor's time. I just have to say it like it is. Sometimes it's words or you don't want to hear them, but they need to be said. That's just the reality. So I don't want to waste nobody's time, and both our times are valuable. You're going to get the knowledge and the training you need to help propel yourself forward. Is it going to happen overnight? No. Is it going to happen the first week? Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. But we know it's not going to happen if you don't. Okay, plain and simple. There's not a single agency owner who's ever become agency owner without attending conference. There's not a single agency director, key leader, so forth and so on, without attending conference. It's just that simple. Go buy you a franchise, a McDonald's or a Subway or whatever, and you're gonna think they're gonna let you buy in a Chick-fil-A, and you're gonna let you buy in and become whatever they call each other, and not require you to go to your university or their training. No, it's not going to happen. So why would you think it could happen here? So that's my 2 cents. Chris, if there's anything I missed, let me know. I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. I appreciate you sharing this morning. And again, guys, powerful words from people who are making it happen in the business. And one of the things that again, just to wrap up this thought, this is a business. You are a business owner. If you're on this call, you're a business owner. I don't care if this is your first day, you haven't even written a policy, you're now a business owner. And one of the things that, you'll see the theme from these guys as they shared, and I heard this on a call one time, love this imagery, this verbal imagery. Somebody once said, you have to be both the CEO and the factory worker. You know, the CEO manages the business and plans everything out, but then tells the factory worker, hey, go do it. And right now, if you're a brand new agent, you're a CEO of your own business, but you also got to be the guy on the line stamping out widgets. And that means, jumping on the phones and stamping out phone calls and making it happen. The other thing I'll say, as a business, guys, if we went in the restaurant business and let's say we're selling fried chicken, and we're cooking up fried chicken every week, when we put a food order in and we want customers to come in and buy from us, we've got to keep ordering that food every week. In other words, you can't have a slow week and then just decide you're not going to buy anything next week, and just, hope you can sell whatever's left over. Guys, in this business, you've got to weekly invest in your business, and that's our lead system. Now, it can vary from week to week. You can adjust it. I see too many times people try to make one order and then try to stretch those leads out over, a month or 2 months. Guys, again, this is a business. The leads are your inventory. Make sure that you're putting a plan in place to invest on a weekly basis. That can be adjusted every week. It doesn't have to be the same amount ordered every week. But if you want to be consistent, you will put in an order every week. So take that advice, guys. Get to Tucson. If you want to get to the level that these guys are running, get to Tucson. See us there, plug into the training. We want to be there with you. And do reach out to your mentor, whoever brought you on this team, because I do know there are some owners packs, again, discounted tickets, ways. We'll get creative. We'll make sure that we get you there. So, guys, awesome week. Let's, keeping with the theme of the business, let's set up your production for next week. Make sure that you've got the assembly line for policies oiled up, ready to go, and that's jumping on the phones this weekend, getting your appointment set. Get to double-digit appointments. 12 to 15 is your target, and you guys set yourself up a big week. It doesn't matter where you're at in this business. You can literally go out next week and win at a very high level. It all starts with the activity that you put in this weekend. So great job, everybody, guys. Thanks for sharing, and appreciate you all being on this morning. And let's jump on the phone, set up a big week for next week, and we will see you all next Friday. Have a great week, everybody.